Hello, and today here at Data Engineering Explorers, we're going to explore why there are data engineers in the world, and hence, why there is data engineering in general. Uh, First of all, let's look at some data products, machine learning and dashboards, BI. Uh, we as humans, we want to see the future and be prepared for it, right? And so that's why machine learning is so appealing, and that's why so many people want to absorb this feature in their companies. Also, it's very interesting to look at the past and see what we did right and had some good consequences or bad consequences and correct that course. But okay, what about data engineering? Where does it fit on this scenario? Uh, Even though it had a rapid rise, it's still not clear for many people, data engineering and data engineers in general. That's why I was eager to do this video. It seems abstract and there are too many terms, too many tools, but however, it's not that complicated. For this video, keep in mind automation and storage. These two words are going to be very important for us today. Uh, so let's start. Let's look at this scenario. We have a report for sales, and this is very common in many companies. You have your stock sale, your earnings, you have your earnings by week in a graph, and this all was made in Excel. So a person worked for 4 hours to gather the data and do this visualization. And great. But we have here our stakeholder. He's going to keep with us for this video. But he thinks it's a great work, but he wants this report every day. So that person would have to allocate 4 hours to create that dashboard every day or something like that. And what's the answer for that? What does data engineering bring to that? Automation. What do I mean by that? Okay, let's suppose that that data is updated every morning on some kind of database. And here with automation, this green part, we would have every morning the data extracted, stored somewhere, and every morning that dashboard would be linked directly to the data, the storage, and you would have the final value. And then the days would go on, and this would happen like every day, and then you would have the revenue like every day updated. Okay, great. Other thing that I would like to mention, if you know data pipeline, this is where it fits. The automation can many times is called data pipeline, and that's where Python usually is inserted, but not the point here, just mentioning. Okay, but our stakeholder, he's quite precise, and he wants the revenue for last week, so he can do better decisions, right? And here we have the second answer, storage. The two words that I said it would appear. Why would storage be important? Okay, here we have that data source that we talked about, and we have the feature of automation that was mentioned, and it gathers the data every morning. But in this scenario, we have the historical data being stored every morning. So let's say 8 a.m. The automation is triggered. It extracts the data from the day before, for example, and how many sales were done or made, and this automation brings the data to the storage, and it is stored by date, and then you have this historical data. So if you have the historical data, you can allow the user to create a data filter, for example. Yeah. But again, we have our stakeholder, and he wants a little bit more of complexity. He wants many data sources, not only this one that we are working on with. He wants metrics. He wants to know how much we'll earn tomorrow or the next week. Here we have machine learning, probably. So, automation plus storage. Actually, in the previous scenarios, we have already mixed these two features up, but in this scenario, we have something a little bit more complex, as the stakeholder has asked. In this solution that it is needed, we have 4 data sources, right? And each one has its specifications. Here it's very simple specifications. Usually it's way more complex, each source, but this one is updated every morning, this is every hour, and this one is every time someone buys something, and this one has a lot of non-interesting data, so we would have to do some kind of transformation or filtering. And these two data are related. So on our automation, actually, we would do something like this, and we would store both data together. This one we would have some kind of filter. I'm just drawing some different things so it's more clear. In this one we would only extract every morning. So here we would have our data structure where we would store, as we previously said, and our dashboard would be connected directly to it, as you can see here. Also, another feature that would be interesting and necessary, as the stakeholder has asked, is some kind of aggregation metrics that it is allowed, as you have historical data and start data, and then you could do this aggregation based on the data and or directly input that on your dashboard, or even store it back to your data structure. And the same thing with machine learning. You have historical data, you have data from years before maybe, and you can do models to that use that data, and you can bring that to your dashboard or visualization or report or whatever, and or also store that. And after that, we have our dashboard with a simple filter, a date filter. We have here a prediction. We have probable earnings next month. So we are using machine learning. And this dashboard gets updated every morning, and it has historical data. So that's what our stakeholder asked, right? And here he is loving data engineering, as should everyone. So, to sum it up, whenever data is needed, data engineer can be too, and data engineering. The processes are easier and allowing the data-driven decisions that everyone talks about and wants. That's very important in our current scenario. And what are those processes that makes everything easier? Automation, as we have talked about, pipelines, because of the quantity of data, the complexity of source, the complexity of the needs, times a day to be refreshed. We talked about also aggregating data. And there are much more scenarios that could create the complexity. And also we have the storage of data to understand the past and to predict the future. We have here to illustrate the dashboards and machine learning. There are many other aspects to data engineering. This was a very introductory video, but some other aspects are the type of data. Is it structured, non-structured, semi-structured? It is an image, a table. The technologies that enable data engineering, all of those tools that you heard of, maybe Spark, Amazon, Glue, a lot of them. I'm not going to list them. You have the data engineering workflow, you have the pipelines itself, the processes you need to analyze to create a pipeline. You have the data structures too, and much more, of course, but you have the data structures such as data lake houses, data lakes, and etc. But yeah, as we have much more, if you want to and if you like this video, first of all, please give it a like and subscribe. If you want to comment, to have to give it a suggestion or to ask something, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more about data engineering, please subscribe and follow us in these channels. That's it. See you soon.